Welcome to Southwest Championship Wrestling. Here with me, the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel. We'll be talking to Nick in just a moment. Let me give you a quick preview of what you can expect in this exciting hour today. The big one, the $5,000 bounty match. Adrian Adonis coming after it as he goes against Bob Sweetan. Remember, he has to power drive Sweetan to collect the money from Tully Blanchard. The Grapplers will be in the ring. Those are the masked men. You'll also see Nick Bockwinkel, the world's champion, back in there today against Ali Bey, the Turk. Tully Blanchard meets Mike Graham, and there's much, much more. So don't go away. The excitement is just about to begin here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. I'm Steve Stack, and here with me once again the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel. And Nick, it's a pleasure to have you back in the great state of Texas.
I'm sure it is.
Well, Nick, there's a little controversy going around about the fans who have viewed all over the nation, in Canada and in Mexico, a match that was held, we showed a videotape on, between you and the King, Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, I've been informed that there's been a number of people who have made reference to my manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now, Bobby the Brain Heenan is truly an articulate, cunning, shrewd gentleman. He's been a tremendous friend, manager, cohort, also a great professional wrestler himself. And there have been people who have made reference to the fact that he interjected, you might say, himself in a slight manner the match between myself and Lawler, and I think someone should get the record straight.
Well, now at my angle it's hard for me to tell, but personally, do you think it would be beyond Bobby Heenan to put your leg over the bottom rope?
Something of that nature, absolutely, but as you said, from my angle, and that seems to be maybe the point we should want to make. Stanley Blackburn is a Texan. I've always questioned the officiating when I've come to Texas. The announcer that I'm talking to is a Texan. All of you, any way you want to put it, you can go throughout the world. Your reputation precedes you. All the jokes that have been made throughout the entire world about Texas, maybe deservedly so. And consequently, my manager, if he does anything, he tries to make sure that only the best officiating takes place, and he will call that to the attention of anybody who, of course, is failing at their job.
Well, we're about to go into the ring for our first match here today. I know you're scheduled. Good luck to you in your match today, sir.
I'll have it. Don't worry.
The world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel. Stay tuned now. We'll be going to the ring for the masked grapplers right after this. There's the bell as we begin our opening match here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Tag team action is the masked grapplers managed by Don Carson against Ricky Morton and El Santo Negro. The referee is Jack Howe. It's Ricky Morton starting against grappler number one.
Come here, Steve Stack. Ken Lucas has got exactly 1 week from right now to make an appearance and also defend those tag team titles.
Well, we'll wait and see if Ken Lucas can make it. Of course, Don Carson doesn't want Ken Lucas to make it because he wants to get those belts somewhere around the waist of the masked grapplers. Well, back here with me, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of Southwest Championship Wrestling, Lou Thez. And Lou, the excitement continues in the ring.
Yes, thank you very much, Steve. I'm very happy to be back with you here. And these are very, very exciting matches. You got some fine young athletes out there tonight, and they're really vying to get close to the Southwest Championship Wrestling situation.
Looky here, 2 men dropping him.
They're all muscle men today.
Well, both grapplers in the ring trying to punish Ricky Morton, and they're doing a good job of it right now. Morton comes bouncing off the ropes, and an elbow knocks the grappler down. That's grappler number one. There's a tag. El Santo Negro makes his way into the ring. El Santo Negro, the masked man from Guadalajara, Mexico, takes the grappler number one down. El Santo Negro holding on to the grappler. Ooh, look at the grappler pick El Santo Negro up, drop him down on his head. El Santo Negro in a bad place now as he's over there in the corner. The grappler's number one is tagged back in. Shoulder thrown into the turnbuckle by the grappler. Big slam coming here. Grappler reaching in, locks the arm back in the hammerlock position of El Santo Negro, backs up, tags out, in comes Grappler number 2. Big punch there, and that drops El Santo Negro to his knees. Slam on El Santo Negro as Santo Negro trying to get over to tag out Ricky Morton.
Yes, that's really some kind of a move.
There's a punch now as they begin to lay it in there on El Santo Negro. Big slam. Boy, these masked grapplers are something else.
They've really been coached expertly. You know, we can say what we want, but when they have the unison and the teamwork that these fellas have, they do a fantastic job, and they're very, very difficult to cope with because they know exactly when to tag in and exactly when to get out, and they really have done a great job. I don't care for some of the antics that go in there, but give credit where it's due, and they're doing a great job.
Big double elbows there as both grapplers are in the ring. There's Ricky Morton come in to help out. Well, turnabout's fair play. Number 2 grappler in the ring. He tags out the number 1. A headbutt. Down goes El Santo Negro. An armbar. El Santo Negro trying to tag out to Ricky Morton. In comes the other grappler, and down goes El Santo Negro, and I don't know how he got that leverage around there, but some reason El Santo Negro went down, Lou.
Yes, well, he had his arm twisted pretty well. It's a breaking point, where you really got to go or just get injured, so you got to go along with it.
Well, El Santo Negro's been in there a long time. He needs to get out of there if he can. He'd like to let Ricky Morton come in, but he's been unable to get over there and make the tag. Oh, El Santo Negro does now. He did it that time. Morton in there. Drop kick. Drop kick. Oh, he grabs the grappler, has him in the air. Atomic drop. Down goes grappler number 1. Cross body block.
The little guy's a ball of fire, isn't he?
He sure is. Carson being warned by the referee about interfering. There's a slam now. There. Ricky Morton grabs the grappler, whips him across the ring. El Santo Negro crosses up there with those double hands right across the chest. Here he comes, off the ropes, over the top he goes. And a boot right to the midsection of El Santo Negro. El Santo Negro finds himself being suplexed by the grappler number 1, who now tags out and lets number 2 come in. Number 2 is up on the middle rope. Oh, he come off there, clotheslined him off the ropes. There's a count. Did he get it? Did he get the count? There it is. Yes, he did. He got the 3. My view was blocked. He got the 3. He came off of the...
Again, that's what I was saying, that teamwork. Carson is... I don't approve of some of his antics, but he does a terrific job with his men.
Well, they come off the middle rope, clothesline him. El Santo Negro's down. The masked grapplers win it here on Southwest Championship Wrestling over El Santo Negro and Ricky Morton. We'll be back with the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel, right after this. It's a pleasure to have back here on Southwest Championship Wrestling the Polish Power, Ivan Putski. Ivan, welcome home to the state of Texas.
It's good to be here. I tell you, it's been a long while, but I'm back here, back to stay. I just want to say something. I wish I could have been in that tournament because that Southwest Champion, that belt means a lot around here, all over the United States. In New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, everywhere, Minneapolis, California. All you hear is about the Southwest Championship belt. They say, Ivan, why don't you go down there and try to get it? Well, I'm not going to try. Before I'm finished, I will get this belt because I'd like to have a shot at it.
Well, Ivan, I know you're coming back to Southwest Championship Wrestling. You're here to talk to us for just a little bit today, but in a few weeks, you will be in the ring.
I will be in the ring. I will be fighting all these guys. But I'll tell you one thing, Steve. Line them up one by one. Tully, Blanchard, Adrian, Adonis, I've had run-ins with him before in New York. Nick Bockwinkel, Mr. Carson, his crew. I'll take them on. I'll tell you, I'm not afraid. People know People know around this area, they know my reputation. I don't back down from anyone. I know I shouldn't be bragging, but it's not a brag, it's a fact.
That's true.
This area's got one of the toughest competitors of anywhere in the United States, even in the world. But I'll tell you what, I'm anxious and I'm glad that I'm back home. This is my home, you know, Texas. I've lived here, been growing up in Texas, and I'm looking forward to coming down here. And I'll tell you what, Adrian, Tully, all you guys, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you what the Polish Power is all about.
Thank you very much, Ivan.
Yes,
we look
sir.
forward to seeing you with the trunks on.
Yeah, you bet. I'm ready.
Let's go to the ring now for the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel, against Ali Bey the Turk. Well, the bell sounds as Ali Bey the Turk goes over towards Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel says, let's just wait a second here. Give me time to get ready. And Nick Bockwinkel locks up with Ali Bey the Turk. The Turk, a short 250 pounds, Lou, but he is all power.
Yes, I know. He has, I watched him wrestle a couple of times, and he has a real good Greco-Roman background, and their training is a little bit different than freestyle. And the Greco-Roman, which is Turkish oriented in, is a little different than our wrestling, but fortunately Nick Bockwinkel knows how to combat some of it. How much, I don't know. But it's a different style.
Nick Bockwinkel now lifting those shoulders, finally gets rid of the Turk. Then he flips him as he caught him bouncing off those ropes. A nice move by the world's heavyweight champion. Covers him up in front with a face lock, maybe getting close to the throat. No, I don't guess so, as the Turk comes up, has a hammerlock on the world's heavyweight champion, trying to roll him over.
You know, when he had that front headlock on him, that little sit-out is a real clever thing, because you can sit out and come up with a hammerlock, and not only do you get away from the hole, but you come up with something, you know. Like they always say, just don't try to get away, come up with a piece, you know.
That's right, get something anyhow. And that he did as he holds on. Now, Nick Bockwinkel's shoulder, you can hear the referee slapping that mat. Bockwinkel's getting those shoulders down once in a while. Here he does a bridge, show you the power in that neck.
Well, that's one of the initial exercises that we all do is bridging, more so in Greco-Roman wrestling, but the neck is very important. Not only do we receive a lot of neck injuries, but it's got to be very, very strong to keep it from being broken.
Nick Bockwinkel on the ropes, Ali Bey the Turk throw the shoulder right into that midsection, and Bockwinkel didn't like that at all. You could see the look on Nick's face. In behind he goes.
Wrist lock coming up now from this Greco-Roman wrestler.
Ali Bey the Turk. Into the hammerlock now, the world's champion in behind.
Nicky reversed it on him.
And that was a nice move by the Turk, but the world's champion didn't let go of the hammerlock. And you got to hold on, and he is holding on.
Well, the wrestling thing has gotten so sophisticated now. You know, it's really crazy, Steve, but years ago we learned some elementary moves that we thought were pretty sharp. But it's so commonplace today, the kids are doing it in high school, you know.
That's right.
Oh, yes, it's really sophisticated today.
Learning something new every day. And yeah, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget a bounty match. Bob Sweetan against Adrian Adonis. Adonis has to power drive Sweetan to collect that bounty. That's coming up later on here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Oh, a slam, but Bockwinkel still holds on.
A lot of tenacity, you know, a lot of know-how, because many times you can beat a fellow with his own hold. Like he slammed him there. He could have, Bockwinkel could have probably hurt his arm when he hung on to it like that.
Bockwinkel holding on. Also, we want to tell you you're watching Southwest Championship Wrestling from the Junction in San Antonio, Texas, where we tape the Southwest Championship Wrestling show every Monday night. Come on by. We'd be glad to see you. It's located at 1704 Blanco Road in San Antonio, Texas. Oh, that was close to the throat. Ali Bey the Turk, very close to the throat. Trying to take care of the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel.
He was throwing that forearm into the throat, not the hand, you know. That's different.
There's Bockwinkel trying to figure a way out as the Turk takes that open hand, chops him underneath the throat that time. Turk in front. Oh, Bockwinkel comes up with a leg. Oh, that hurt the knee.
A double leg, yeah, but the knee injuries are so frequent, and so it's so easy to injure a knee that's what they're shooting for, of course, put him out of action.
The Turk reaches up, grabs a handful of hair of the world's heavyweight champion. Once again, I want to remind all you youngsters out there sitting watching, don't try any of these moves on your friends because they are very dangerous. it's possible you could come up with a lot of broken bones. Isn't that right, Lou?
Yes, they certainly shouldn't try it because these things that you see on television, they're executed by professional wrestlers that are trained for this sport. And even in amateur wrestling, it isn't done because the rules are so designed so they don't get permanent injuries. But the children certainly should not try them.
Ali Bey the Turk knocks the world's heavyweight champion down. Now he comes in there stomping with that bare foot. Ali Bey the Turk, oh, he did a flip to try to come up on top of the world's champion, but he wasn't there. Bockwinkel reaching over. Is he going to get him? No, it was Bockwinkel who was down. Ali Bey the Turk finds himself being slammed by the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel reaches down. Has him up for another slam. Ali Bey the Turk down. Here comes Bockwinkel on top. Here's the count. It's 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. It's all over. The world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel, wins another match right here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Don't go away, because Tully Blanchard and Mike Graham will be in the ring right after this. Mike Graham will be going into the ring in just a few minutes now to face Tully Blanchard. And Mike, I happen to know that you and Tully Blanchard go back a long way, and there's a lot of bad blood between you two.
We know in professional wrestling there's a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with, but we're all out to earn a living. Tully Blanchard has gone out of his way to try to put me out of professional wrestling, to try to injure me in a very serious way that would keep me from earning a living. Well, I got news for Tully Blanchard and any other professional wrestler that wants to try it. I've been wrestling pro now 11 years. I'd been wrestling 4 or 5 years professionally before Tully even thought about being a wrestler. When he was still a quarterback at West Texas State University, I was out in the ring with men. I wasn't playing with boys in college. I was out competing against men. So we've had a hard time all over the United States.
He chased you through Florida for a long time.
That's right. He came through Florida, figured he could come down there and hurt me. Well, he didn't get it done. I came back to Houston. Him and his partner Gino both jumped on me, and I'm still here today. So I'm going to give him a wrestling lesson because that's what he needs, is a good wrestling lesson.
Well, what do you think of the competition here in Southwest Championship Wrestling?
Some of the best competitors, some of the best-looking athletes that I've seen in a long time, and I'm really excited about being here, and I'm not going to let somebody like Tully Blanchard run me off.
Good luck to you, as you got to face him now. He's already in the ring waiting for you.
All right, I'll be there.
Mike Graham will now make his way to the ring as Tully Blanchard is there, so let's pick up the action. Well, Mike Graham is back, Lou, here on Southwest Championship Wrestling, but this time he doesn't have a World Championship man in the ring. He's got Tully Blanchard.
It may be tougher for him, I don't know.
That's right, you can't tell. Tully Blanchard is about as tough as they come. I saw him not too long ago here in Southwest Championship Wrestling. It looked like he was beat all over the ring, and somehow he kept coming back, and he finally won the match.
Well, that's what it is. You know, we used to call it guts, but it's just it's what it is, intestinal fortitude. And a fellow that has the will, after it looks like he's beaten to come back, they're the ones to watch.
Tully Blanchard is bailed out of the ring as Mike Graham laid one along the side of the head. Blanchard is holding that left ear. So Blanchard is a little bit leery about getting back into the ring.
Well, he may have an injured ear, you know. When the cartilage is broken in an ear, it's a very painful thing.
Here comes Blanchard bouncing off the rope. Oh, look at Graham step in front. Get those arm drags, and Blanchard bails out again. Oh, Tully Blanchard's mad. He can't believe it. He is outside the ring now. He's complaining to the referee, Jack Howe, that Mike Graham pulled his trunks, but if he did, nobody knew it except Tully Blanchard. Mike Graham trying to get Tully Blanchard to come on out there. If he wants to punch it out, he'll punch it out with him. Of course, this is a professional wrestling match, not a boxing match.
Well, that's what it is. And, of course, maybe he's not really as familiar with Tully as we are, rather. I was just going to say I am. But Tully, he picks his spots. And he's not going to stick his nose out and trade punch for punch. He'll hit somebody and then get out of the ring and come back and do it again. That's the way to do it, really.
Down went Tully Blanchard, and referee is warning Mike Graham about pulling hair, and it was away from me, so I don't know. Blanchard has a leg over the bottom rope. The referee kicks it off. Blanchard trying to get a break, and he is going to get a break as he locked those legs around that rope that time. And the referee is being told by Tully Blanchard that Mike Graham pulled the hair, but I don't know. Tully Blanchard here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Goes after Graham. There's one of those spots you were talking about, Lou. He finally got his chance and he put it in there.
Tully will just sit there and wait. He's an opportunist, and he'll get his shot in, and then he'll disappear. And that's the way to beat your man, really. It may not be a popular thing, but that's the way it goes.
Blanchard dropped him over that top rope. You're listening to the voice of the commissioner of Southwest Championship Wrestling, Mr. Lou Thez, 7-time world heavyweight champion. Tully Blanchard covering up Mike Graham. Blanchard getting a little riding time here, and this wears you out if you're underneath.
Yes, it does, because it's so easy to rest on top if you got the right kind of balance. The other man's working and you're coasting.
There's Mike Graham now, driving that knee into the left arm of Tully Blanchard. Mike Graham has the hammer lock on Tully Blanchard. Blanchard showing a lot of pain on that face now as Graham tries to turn him over to get those shoulders down to the mat and have the referee count. Here it comes. They're tied up in the ropes, and it looks like Mike Graham's going to have to break the hold and give Tully Blanchard another chance to escape, and he does. Graham quickly coming up on the apron. Blanchard went after him. The referee stepped in. Graham walking around. Tully Blanchard right in the center of the ring, goes in behind. Has him wrapped up. Setting it out is Mike Graham. He comes up with a leg and now the arm. Very quick moves from Mike Graham, who makes his home in Tampa, Florida. Referee Jack Howes right there asking Tully Blanchard, does he want to concede the fall of the match? Of course, Blanchard says no. They're just about out underneath that bottom rope. If they get any further, I'm sure we'll get a break here from the referee. And here we go. They're out on the apron just about now. The referee trying to keep them in the ring. He asked for the break. They don't break, but I think he's going to make them break.
Well, Tully came out with a piece of, he came out with a handful. On the break, Tully came out with what he wanted, and he had to break it.
There he went on that middle rope again. Dived in to Mike Graham. Here's a count, and it's 2 as Graham slides out underneath Tully Blanchard. Oh, you can tell there's a lot of bad blood between these two guys.
They don't like each other because you can see that the moment Tully had an opportunity, he's really trying for a pin. He's trying to get rid of this thing and get out the easy way and get home because this young man's giving him a problem. He's trying to pin him.
A lot to go here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Remember the bounty match. Bob Sweetan against the bounty hunter Adrian Adonis later on, right here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Tully Blanchard punishing Mike Graham. Oh, did he lay one up the side of the head that time? There's another one. Blanchard suplex, trying to get him up there. He didn't get him going. Trying to go for a suplex. Blanchard. Oh, and it doesn't work as Graham comes up with it. Graham got the leverage going his way.
He sure did. He reversed it on him. Young man's got a lot of courage, a lot of will to win is what he has.
Graham putting some in there on Tully Blanchard now. There's a knee. Blanchard going for a pile driver. Oh! Over the rope, over the top rope as Blanchard was going for the pile driver. Graham stood up and he threw Blanchard over the top rope, and whether it was intentional or not, he did go over the top rope.
The referee will make a decision here. We'll see what happens.
I believe he is going to award the match to Tully Blanchard.
Well, I think the reason that he did that is he thought that the reason he was giving Tully the match, I believe, is because he knew that Graham could see where Tully was going.
There you have it. Tully Blanchard wins it over Mike Graham as Graham disqualified for throwing Blanchard over the top rope. Stay tuned now because we'll be back with the Hangman Bobby Jaggers right after this. In the ring now, the Hangman Bobby Jaggers as he's ready to go against Terry Daniels. Jaggers, 265 pounds out of Dunlap, Kansas, and Terry Daniels, 210 pounds from Amarillo. Well, the Hangman in the ring, Lou, and what he does, if you haven't caught him lately, You see that armband he wears there? He loads it somehow, it looks like to me, and he catches him like a clothesline, but when he catches you, you're gone.
Oh, yes. Well, I know exactly where you're coming from. You know, as heavy as he is, it could really be very effective. You know, a lot of people, many of the laymen don't know that some of the people that have extra weight, even some fat people, are very, very strong.
Right here, Jaggers holding on. Nice hip toss there. Terry Daniels down, holds that back a little bit. Lou, every time you hit that mat, it seems like it takes a little out of you.
It does, yes, sir, it does. And most of the fellows have after effects after a number of years, and it all adds up, and the injuries do. They add up, and pretty soon, you get to be a relative basket case, you know.
That's right. You see them walking around, injured, wounded, you know, they're limping.
Limping, right. They thought he got hit by a truck, and probably did, you know.
Yeah, somewhere along the lines, it must travel as easy to do.
Right.
You cover a lot of miles when you're a professional wrestler. It used to be it was all driving. Now you may be here. Tomorrow you'll be in Tokyo, Japan.
Well, that's true. And, of course, air travel has made it easy for us. But when we get into jet air travel, that really made the world a lot smaller.
Yeah. Sure did. And it's like you come down, you make your home in the state of Virginia, I understand. And here you come down to Texas, you can go back tomorrow. And, a couple of hours, you'll be home.
It's just like crossing the street nearly.
Yeah. Here's Jaggers whipping Daniels into the rope. Daniels ducked underneath. Hooked that arm of Hangman Bobby Jaggers and puts him down. Terry Daniels battling it out here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. I'm Steve Stack here at ringside. We're coming to you from the Junction in San Antonio, Texas. I don't want you to go away because the big one is yet to come. We've had some great ones already, but the bounty match, Bob Sweetan, Adrian Adonis still to go here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Jaggers with some big knees, drops Terry Daniels down. That's a legal kick. As long as you use the flat of that boot, that's a legal kick.
Yes, that's all right, but I was trying to point something out here that Jaggers is a kind of a fellow that enjoys hurting people. I don't think he would have to go to the extent that he's going to maybe take this young man, but he'd rather hurt him than just wrestle him.
You think that he could already pin him?
I don't know already, but I think he could wear him down and maybe get him. But rather than that, he'd rather abuse him and maybe try to discourage him, you know?
Well, you can see Jaggers in behind now with that face lock. Daniel's trying to set it out. He's trying to move side to side, try to get a little movement there. They're sweaty by now in the match, and you can kind of slide that head going if you can get things going your way.
Well, yeah, the perspiration is a little tough to work around. You've got to have the right leverage and be able to work around the wet body like the perspiration. It comes with time. When I first started wrestling and the fella got real wet, it was difficult to hang on, but you learn how to do it.
That's right. Jaggers still holding on to Terry Daniels. Uh-oh. Might have got a handful of hair that time.
He sure did. He got some assistance there.
And he yells at the crowd to not tell the referee, of course. Jack Howell has to see the move before he can break the hold. Jaggers knocked back a little bit by Daniels. Shoulder tackle sends Jaggers down. A knee sends Daniels reeling to the mat. That hurt him that time. That hurt him bad. There's a kick. There's another kick. Bobby Jaggers, the hangman from Kansas, flies through the air with an elbow, 265 pounds, coming down on top of Terry Daniels. It should be all over right here. Let's see if it is. No, it's not. I thought he had him.
A young man's got a lot going for him. He really has the will to get out of there and win.
Jaggers in behind with that face lock. Jaggers holding on to Terry Daniels.
It's a strange thing about athletes. If they really have a lot of intestinal fortitude, really the bottom in them, you can't get it with a needle, you can't get it anywhere at all. They're born that way. It doesn't come with time or with training. If a fella has it, he has it. If he's got a lot of heart, this young man sure has it.
Yes, he does, as he battles it out with a hangman. Right now, the hangman has the best end of it, as Daniels is getting weak from the punishment that the hangman, Bobby Jaggers, has dished out. Reverse neck breaker. There's the count this time, and Daniels kicks out again. Well, Bobby Jaggers is wondering what he's going to have to do to take care of Terry Daniels. Right now, it's Daniels trying to make a comeback. He still has a little left. Pushes Jaggers onto the ropes. Whips him across the ring. Goes for a drop kick, and he knocked him down. Got him covered up. Here's the count. It's 1, 2, and that's all. Didn't get that 3 count. Big slam coming up, and it's big when you drop 265 pounds down.
He's doing a pretty good job on this big fella, I tell you. Real good.
There it is. There's that hangman. He had it ready. This should be all. 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. The hangman uses the hangman to win another match. Bobby Jaggers wins it over Terry Daniels. Coming up next, the Cowboy Scott Casey. So don't go away. Waiting for the bell now is Juan Reynosa from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in 250 pounds. Takes on the Cowboy Scott Casey, 236 pounds from Amarillo, Texas. Juan Reynosa and Scott Casey. They lock up in the referee's position. They lay on the ropes. It's Casey in front. Casey throws him off. Reynosa looked like he wanted to bail out of the ring, but Scott Casey stayed right there. Reynosa with a side headlock on Scott Casey. Juan Reynosa holding on to Scott Casey, the Cowboy. Very popular wrestler in the Southwest is Scott Casey. Rolling the shoulders. Juan Reynosa trying to pin him with a roll. Reynosa is out on the floor. He has a 20 count to get back in the ring, and he's quickly up there. They lock the fingers on one hand, lock them on the other hand. Now it's Casey with a step over, the twist, and down goes Juan Reynosa. Uh-oh. Juan may have had a handful of Scott Casey's hair to get him down there. Casey finally turns it around, gets a hammer lock on Juan Reynosa. Reynosa goes for the rope, puts a leg between the rope, and gets a break. Well, Lou, a lot of people question a move like that, but you know that's not a bad move to get a break when you got yourself in a position that you can't get out of.
Well, I know there's many ways to approach it. I saw Reynosa when he's looking back. He was hoping that Scott would be close enough to elbow him, but he was gone already, you know. He thought he was going to nail him.
Did you ever make a move like that to save your World's Championship?
Listen, man, when you get the title, you make any kind of a move to save it. You'll do anything.
There you go. Off the ropes. Doubled him up. Oh, the big man hit the deck.
Oh, he saw him coming in. You know, just catch him coming in like that is where it is.
There's a side backbreaker. Here comes the count. It was just one, and Reynosa bails out of the ring. Casey would like to get him back in here and get him over with if he could. Boy, Juan Reynosa makes his way up on the apron. In the ring he comes.
Casey's got him hurt a little bit already. I saw him working on feeling his back. He's been getting his lumps.
Reynosa backing away from Scott Casey. Reynosa caught him with a kick as Casey was coming in. And he throws a little punch, lays one on the side of the nose that time, and there's an elbow to the top of the head.
When they come in for those low kicks, it's kind of a desperation move, you know.
Right, Casey grabs him by the arm. Reversal. Casey slammed into the turnbuckle. Reynosa gets a shoulder in there as he went after Casey, but Casey wasn't there. Casey whips him this way. Over the top goes Reynosa. There's that side backbreaker again. 1, 2, 3, and there it is. Juan Reynosa goes down at the hands of the Cowboy Scott Casey. Now you really don't want to go away because the bounty match is coming up next. Pile driver Bob Sweetan against Adrian Adonis right after this. Well, the match we've been telling you about is about to step into the ring. That's the bounty match where Tully Blanchard has put up a little money to Adrian Adonis. The way that Adonis can collect it, he has to pile drive Bob Sweetan.
Hey, Steve Stack, everybody knows what it takes to collect the bounty money on Bob Sweetan. This has been going on a long time. Bob Sweetan, I brought in a lot of tough men. But Bob Sweetan, I don't know any of them that can go through Central Park with $100 bills hanging out their pockets. I don't know any of them that lived 19 years on the streets of New York City in Hell's Kitchen. Brother, Adrian Adonis is going to put the Goodnight Irene on my friend Bob Sweetan, and when he's out there sound asleep, Adrian, all you got to do to pick up 5 G's is to pick him up and drop him on his head while he's sleeping like a baby.
Let me tell you something. Cool, calm, collective as always. Bob Sweetan just lost 5 pounds of sweat in the dressing room. I can feel it. I know it. I'm more cruising than Muhammad Ali, more class, more brilliance. I'm going to show you a spectacular match, but I'm going to show you Adrian Adonis and the Flesh Daddy. Victorious, Mr. Blanchard. I'm going to share that money with you. You know why? Because I'm just going to get off on the fact of Bruiser Bob going down for the count and all his friends crying on their shoulders. Hey, you always pay when you play. And Bruiser Bob, you're gonna get yours. Just hold on, man. Just cool your jets. Let me tell you something. Get in your cage. All in good time. Ladies and gentlemen, I use that term very loosely. You are about to see me in action, and it is a treat.
Adrian Adonis going to the ring. Are you going to be at ringside, Mr. Tully?
I don't need to be at ringside to watch what's going to happen, because I already know.
Thank you. Let's go to the ring now. Bob Sweetan is there. Adrian Adonis is making his way. A bounty match. If he can drop Sweetan on his head, he'll collect the $5,000 that Tully Blanchard has put up. Adrian Adonis is slowly taking his way to the ring. Lou, I don't like these kind of bounty matches.
Well, I don't either, but you know, this fellow is such an unusual fellow. I think even getting in a ring with him would be a bounty match because he's got those brass nuts, he's got the whip, he's got everything going for him. He's a very strange, unorthodox fellow, and if I were Sweetan, I would be very, very careful.
Well, Adrian Adonis hasn't taken off his leather jacket. Jack Howe was just about to disqualify him if he didn't throw that little leather whip out of there. Adrian Adonis staying in the corner. He's yelling, get him back in his cage. That's what he said a while ago. I don't see no cage out there. Tully Blanchard did leave ringside. He is not there. I figured he'd stay there, yell a little instruction into Adrian Adonis.
I thought the same thing, Steve. I thought, being that he was interviewed with him, that he would be with him. I don't know.
Well, here they lock up on the ropes.
You can bet they have some kind of a game plan.
You can count on it. They've been talking all night long, I'm sure. Maybe days and weeks they've been planning this.
Sure. How are they going to take care of Sweetan, right?
Adrian Adonis, Bob Sweetan, 2 giants. There's a side headlock. Off the ropes comes Sweetan. Oh, what a collision. What a collision. Oh, boy. Woo, I'll tell you what, there aren't too many men to get up.
There, when you can turn over 260 or 70 pounds like that, my God, can you imagine the power, the force behind it?
Boy, it was there. Adrian Adonis is taking a little breather, I'm sure, as he's down. Bob Sweetan holding on to Adrian Adonis, who likes to use the sleeper hold, which he calls Goodnight Irene. He sings that song to you when he puts you out.
It wouldn't be a very nice song to hear, I'll tell you.
Little hair pulling. Adonis had it up there. Side headlock. Being held there by Bob Sweetan. Here comes Sweetan holding on to Adrian Adonis. Adonis tried to whip him off, but he didn't get rid of him. It's a lot of power coming from the side headlock applied by Bob Sweetan. Sweetan keeps it locked on tight. Exchanging little blows there. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the best in professional wrestling from Southwest Championship Wrestling, coming to you from the Junction in San Antonio, Texas. Be sure you consult your local listings and see what time we're on in your town, because we are nationwide. Off the ropes comes Sweetan. Over the top he goes. Oh, there's another one of those collisions, and Adonis went down.
That Sweetan is some kind of a brute. You know, he is just like a big tractor.
Side headlock. Want to remind you again, for Adonis to collect the bounty, he has to pile drive Bob Sweetan. And that is Sweetan's most famous hold.
I think Adonis has a real big job on his hands. I would hesitate to try to pile drive Sweetan, because I might wind up in the same position.
That's 285 pounds you're trying to pile drive.
I think that would be nearly an impossible job for him. However, this fellow Adonis is fantastically strong, but Sweetan has enough know-how, I believe, to keep him from doing it.
Sweetan holding on to the side headlock. Adonis is smart. He keeps up one shoulder. There's no count on him. Lou, I know our time is running out. This is our TV time limit match. I want to thank you for coming by on Southwest Championship Wrestling and congratulate you on your appointment as commissioner for Southwest Championship Wrestling.
I really enjoy having been appointed commissioner, and I want to thank you for having me on your program, because you're the dean of these sportscasters now. You're doing a fantastic job. This is not a mutual admiration society I'm talking about. I'm talking about what is really happening. You've got fantastic thing to work with here, and you're doing a super job.
Thank you very much, and anytime you get a chance, we'd like for you to come back and see it.
I'd like to do it as soon as I can. I'll be running around the country a wee bit, but I'll be back when I can.
Thank you very much. Commissioner of Southwest Championship Wrestling, former world's heavyweight champion Lou Thiz, stopping by to visit with us again today on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Sweetan holding on to the side headlock of Adrian Adonis. Adonis keeps that one shoulder up. Sweetan keeps it locked on tight. Here comes Adonis up. Bouncing off the ropes. Sweetan finds himself being drop kicked by Adrian Adonis. Adonis went for it again. He didn't get it. Sweetan throws his head into the turnbuckle. Oh, Adonis's days there. There's a count by the referee, and it was one as Adrian Adonis rolled up the shoulder. Adrian Adonis down on the mat. Bob Sweetan up on top with a side headlock. Here they come up. Ooh, Adrian Adonis. May have been a low blow. Sweetan is really hurting. Adonis grabs him by the hair, takes him, throws him between the ropes, and out onto the floor he goes. Adrian Adonis stays into the ring. Bob Sweetan comes up on the apron. Adrian Adonis is waiting for him right there. Forearm across the chest. Oh man, it could break your ribs in a hurry. You could hear that thing pop way up here. Sleeper hold. There's that Goodnight Irene sleeper hold, and Jack Howe, the referee, grabs Adonis by the hair and pulls him off. He tried to tell him and bring him into the ring, and Adonis wouldn't listen. Threw him into the turnbuckle. 1 minute remains here on Southwest Championship Wrestling, maybe a little less as we check with official timekeeper. Remember, this is our time limit match. We'll stay with it as long as we can. They're exchanging big blows out on the apron. Here comes Sweetan into the ring. Oh, he missed. Slam. Adrian Adonis going out. Adrian Adonis going up on the top rope. Sweetan catches him. Here comes, oh, Adonis drops across that top rope. Adrian Adonis dropped across that top rope. Sweetan going after him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to leave till next week. Steve Stack saying so long for Southwest Championship Wrestling.